I'm Julia, number 14. Today I'll tell you some news about 6% of Beijing students seek village jobs. Altogether, 11,354 Beijing-based college students have applied to become village officials in the city's outskirts this year, which means 1 out of every 17 senior students in the national capital has applied to the 2,000 vacancies. Competition will therefore be quite intense and roughly 1 out of every 6 applicants will stand out. The successful candidates will start working in July as village heads or assistant secretaries of village committees of the Chinese Communist Party in Beijing's 7 outlying districts and 2 countries. That's all. Thank you.
I'm Nikki, number 12. I will give you some campus news. These days there have been so many activities in our college which are helpful for us, improving our ability of preparing for our future. For example, this Tuesday we held a song contest whose theme is "We're a big family and we love each other." In this contest, every class in our college was a unit, preparing 2 songs. One was a Chinese song, the other a foreign language one. Every student tried their best and performed well, much to our surprise and Mrs. Lawrence's surprise. Mr. Lawrence prepared a beautiful cake for Mrs. Lawrence. Because that day was Mrs. Lawrence's birthday, we sang "Happy Birthday" to Mrs. Lawrence, both in English and Chinese. Merry birthday into tears, but for happiness. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruth, number 10. I will show you 4 lessons in life. 1. A sad thing in life is when you meet someone who means a lot to you, only to find out in the end that it was never meant to be, and you just have to let go. 2. It's true that we don't know what we've got until we lost it. But it's also true that we don't know what we have been missing until it arrives. 3. It takes only a minute to get a crush on someone, an hour to like someone, and a day to love someone, but it takes a lifetime to forget someone. 4. Dream what you want to dream, go where you want to go, be what you want to be, because you have only one life and one chance to do all the things you want to do. So, I appreciate it you right now. Thank you.
I'm Taya. My number is 9. My topic is idioms. The first, several days. The English meaning is an especially happy period of one's life, or a period when one is young and live. The Chinese meaning is 最佳的幸福时光. For example, looking back on those several days always makes me smile. The second, what's your subject? The English meaning is he or she can't find the words to express what she or he is trying to say, usually because of the strength of the emotion evoked. The Chinese meaning is 言语无法表达某人的思想或感受. For example, when I think about how great James is, what will it mean? That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will read a poem to you. The road not taken, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I couldn't travel both. And with one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it went in the undergrowth. Then to the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the parting there had worn them dearly about the sea. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trod black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how many days on to wait, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sign, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that had made all the difference. Thank you.
I'm Tina. My number is 21. I will read a poem. The title is You Don't Have to Say You Love Me. When I said I needed you, you said you would always stay. It wasn't me who changed, but you. And now you've gone away. Don't you see that now you've gone, and I'm left here on my own? That I have to follow you and beg you to come home. You don't have to say you love me. Just be close at hand. You don't have to stay forever. I will understand. Believe me, I can't help but love you. But believe me, I will never tie you down. Left alone with just a memory. Life seems dead and so unreal. All that's left is loneliness. There's nothing left to feel. Thank you.
Is 18 months. My name is Cindy. For every field there is a season, and a time for every purpose and heaven. A time to be born and time to die. A time to plant and time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to kill. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rain and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Thank you.
Today I want to show you two words. The first one is aerobics. It's a noun. It means physical exercises intended to strengthen the heart and lungs, often done in classes with music. And its adjective form is aerobic. For example, if you do aerobic exercises every day, you will strengthen your body. The second one is calorie. It's a noun. It means a unit for measuring how much energy food will produce. And its adjective form is calorific. For example, the calorific value of chocolate is very high. If you are on a diet, don't eat too much chocolate. Thank you.
Good price.
It will be very late.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's news.
This is Chuan.
This is Linda. Here's the briefs. President visit U.S. this week.
2,300-year-old king comes home.
Online life is not just for the younger folk.
Chinese air route cut flying time to Europe.
Drinking, smoking, kindly granny turns 111.
Putin says he is set to become Russian coach. Here's the details.
President Hu Jintao will visit the United States tomorrow to strengthen bilateral ties, aid frictions over trade, and the renminbi's exchange rate, the foreign ministry said. Hu's 4-day U.S. trip, starting from April 18th, will take him to Seattle and Washington, D.C. Ministry spokesman Liu Jianchao said at a regular news briefing in Beijing. Referring to the controversial issues of human rights, Liu said differences between China and other countries, including the United States, should be resolved on the basis of courtesy and mutual respect and through dialogue.
An important king dating back 2,300 years ago has come home after a 100-year sojourn in Europe. With the help of noted French archaeologists, the ding is approximately 70.5 centimeters high and 24.5 centimeters in diameter, said Liu Yunhui, Deputy Director of the Shanxi Provincial Cultural Heritage Bureau. The ding bore about 50 increased characters, which called states or dynasties that held it in ancient China. The keepers include Han, a state in Warring States period, Xianyang Palace of the Imperial Qing Dynasty, and Linqing Palace of the Han Dynasty. Almost 10 million Chinese relics have been lost overseas, and most are kept by folk collectors.
Fernand Gomez, who bought and sent the Ding back to China, said, "It is just my first gift to China. I hope it will set a fine example and inspire more people to have Chinese relics returned home. The Ding will be exhibited in Emperor Qing's Terracotta Warriors and Horses Museum."
An elder couple met online recently and said that when they saw each other last week, it was love at first sight. Li, a 68-year-old widow, traveled from Urumqi to Chongqing to meet her new soulmate, a retired university lecturer. They fell in love with each other and decided to get married soon.
China opens a new air route for international traffic, a move that could reduce flight times between China and Europe by an air rate of 30 minutes and save airlines US $30 million in fuel cost area. Flights from Europe to Manila, for example, have to stop at Bangkok to refuel, but the new route will make non-stop flights possible. The IATA represents around 265 airlines that comprise 94% of international scheduled air traffic. They have a good time in the Junction Park.
Yes, a good memory, though we were tired and it was a little windy, and some of us may have got a bad cold.
And will you climb the Loshan Mountain in this Saturday at the fall? It will be free.
I'm afraid I won't. I think it will be crowded.
Maybe, but I hope it will be a summer day. Okay, may you have a nice week.
See you tomorrow.
Which lasted for several centuries and finally...
Welcome to CCTV 9 and Purple.
I'm Apple.
And this is a new program named Now Star 明星进行时. Here we will offer some information about Superstar
and bring happiness to you. So our slogan is Searching Star Producing Happiness.
And look at this headline. Apple, do you know about sweet girl?
Britney?
Yeah, it's Britney. But she doesn't have sweet life now. Do you know why?
I don't know.
Because she hasn't had fortune in his acting career for a long time, and her husband isn't loyal to her.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, even though she already has bad mood, her husband always dragged her. It made her really sad, you know. She always called her friend and cried in deep night. And just a few days ago, her little son fell off the chair and hurt the head. It made the unexperienced mother more worried. And maybe she has so much pressure, so she overacts herself by eating too much junk food all day. So,
Sorry for that.
yeah, so her slim figure became a terrible one. It made her manager very angry, and he forced her to lose weight. And most people, including herself, that don't believe that she can get some achievement anymore. Don't you think so?
Maybe yes, because I think, oh no. I think many people, maybe in some period they will in a bad mood, but after this period they will recover from the bad mood and repeat and in high spirit again. I think Britney will do that. I believe her.
Yeah, may Britney be a sweet girl again. And
No, I think she will be a sweet mother.
Yeah. And you say superstar's marriage always be colorful, right?
Maybe yes.
Yeah. And Madonna's father-in-law exposed that she doesn't get along well with his husband. In fact, do you think it's ridiculous?
Yeah. But there is one exception, such as Victoria. I think think their marriage is a happy marriage and they get along very well with each other. Although there was some trouble between them some days ago, but with the birth of their youngest son, their relationship began to be well again.
Harmony.
And harmony. And now the Victoria's birthday is coming, and Beckham will present her a really expensive necklace from Italy, and invite cook from London to prepare them a very, very marvelous dinner, Japanese dinner,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think how romantic Beckham is, and I wish I had a sweetheart like him.
Yeah, I almost envy her.
Oh, okay, let's turn to home news.
Yeah.
And Jolin joined in EMI 百代唱片, and the new album named Dancing Girl will come to public in May. And Jolin said that she will give us surprise and shock. Let's expect it.
Yeah, we have expected it for so long time, and now next news is about Zhang Ziyi. His new movie, Geisha Records. I think most of us may have seen that. That the many people think is not a good one because in the movie, Zhang Ziyi, some people think she insulted our nation character, right?
Yeah.
But we think most superstars, no matter what they do, they should base on our nation, our country.
Happiness.
And welcome to CCTV 9. This is Echo.
Good morning, this is Paula.
Okay, let's have a look at our brief.
Popular donor comes finger died in Shenzhen.
China tries using clothes in hospitals.
Hu Jintao said China seeks peaceful development.
2 months to retrieve Zheng to the West.
China prepared for table tennis.
And at last is the entertainment news.
聪慧 well-known donor singer in China died yesterday in Shenzhen, Guangdong province. Cong was popular among TV variants and newspaper readers, since she was hospitalized and confirmed to be a patient of stomach cancer at the advanced stage on April 22 last year. While struggling for life at a hospital in Shenzhen, Cong had never forgotten his respect more than 100 children from poor families in the western part of the country who called him Daddy's home. So far, she has donated over 3 million yuan for over 150 stricken dropouts and handicapped persons.
When the clone traced a balloon into the shape of a dog, 8-year-old Ke Xiaoqing claimed so hard that his mother worries he will actually put out on iron needles. The exercise younger star hardly noticed as she passed into the place. Its attention falls on clones in Liu Yongjing, who, along with his twin brother Liu Jingjing, has been bringing together at the drug wards of 2 children's hospital in Beijing since 2003. With their quality blue and white balanced trousers and the magic wands, the Liu brothers are Troy's first hospital clones. Pioneered the therapeutic.
President Hu Jintao offered reassurances on Friday that China seeks a peaceful development to economic, a theme she has articulated since the first stop of his foreign U.S. trip.
2 Buddhist monks are to follow in the footsteps of famous foot friend Xuanzang on the journey from China to India.
Table tennis wood champion Zhang Yiming arrived at the airport of Bremen, Germany, April 23. Defending champion China sent a strong team to Berlin for the coming World Championship starting on April 24.
Okay, at last let's see some entertainment news. Hollywood superstars Tom Hanks and Kirsten Dunst will bring Blossom to next month in Ghana's Film Festival, where they will be sharing the red carpet with a series of less well-known younger filmmakers. The movie's feathers Christopher Burst as the Prince of France, who was along with the French rulers in 1987. They said they hoped their journey would promote the world peace.
This is today's news, and now let's also go to have the weather report.
Spring is coming and the temperature going up day by day, but you should take care of your health and keep warm and prevent yourself from the sandstorm, because next week many sandstorms will attract northeast, east and west of China, so take care of it.
Sports event having coming, wish you all have a good time. See you.
Okay, thank you for watching. See you.
President Hu Jintao arrived in Seattle on April 19th for his first state visit to the United States, the highlight of which will be a summit with his United States counterpart, George W. Bush, in Washington, D.C., whose paper summit with Bush since last May is likely to cover talks on Taiwan trade, intellectual property rights, and China crossing. Also expected to be on the agenda are the nuclear standoffs on the Korean Peninsula and Iran, in which the two countries should coordinate efforts, and also the anti-terrorism campaign. On the sensitive core issue, the Taiwan question, the assurance by the United States side on the One China policy is not enough, and the two countries must boost their cooperation to oppose and contain Taiwan independence, which is beneficial to both sides. This will be one of the main topics of the discussion when 2 years back. China is the third largest trade partner of the United States, which is the second largest of China. However, the two countries have some frictions in the economic and trade sectors, ranging from the exchange rate of renminbi and the United trade deficit, China to intellectual property rights protection. China has shown its strong resolve to push forward. It is also important for the United States administration to assure China that economic frictions will not hinder the advancement of political relations. This long-term visit will help the two powers share the mutual understanding and trust, while seeking a common ground. The Hu and Bush summit would allow the two leaders to discuss how to establish a more stable strategic framework to ensure healthy and peaceful development and bilateral ties. Besides the United States, who will also visit Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Nigeria, Cairo from April 22nd to 29th. Microsoft and Lenovo decided to forge what is termed the strategic cooperation to coincide with President Hu Jintao's official visit to the United States. Under the agreement, which involves some $1.2 million over the next 12 months, the two companies will join hands to promote the use and benefits of bona fide Microsoft software products in China, as well as in some 65 countries and regions around the world. In China alone, the amount will reach $200 million. And another interesting news about a clever duck which can recognize traffic lights. Its owner Chen runs a small store in the busy area in Guangdong province and has raised the duck for more than 2 years. The duck is said to like cleanliness and use the toilet at home. Every week, the duck jumps into a special basin and allows Chen to help it to take a bath, and the duck follows its owner to work, stopping when the traffic light turns red and walking when it's green, and even says hello to Chen's neighbor every day. And you know, Susie, what day was it on April the 22nd? Yes, I know it's Earth Day. Yeah, it's Earth Day, and according to the statistics, the number of people consuming wild animals has decreased, and this is explained by a rising public awareness of the wildlife protection and the health knowledge, such as SARS and bird flu.
Yeah, so everyone should cheer up and contribute to environmental protection
and love Earth. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to today's news report. This is Fanny. The news is as follows.
Volunteers to West. A nationwide project will send 6,500 university graduates to the West countryside as volunteers this year. The volunteers will work in poverty-stricken countries for 1 or 2 years to help develop education, healthcare, culture, agriculture, and their sectors. During their service term, they will receive a $6 monthly allowance, insurance, and a health checkup. The volunteers will also get assistance to land job offers or pursue full study after they finish.
Some direct schemes. The organizers of the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games chose famed Chinese filmmaker Zhang Yimou as the director of the opening and closing ceremony of the well-known event on Sunday. Zhang will work with a crew of domestic and international consultants, including American director Steven Spielberg. Zhang said, "I have promised not to direct any films in the next 2 years, so as to make full preparations for the Olympics."
University facing sports match. It is known that many universities are overstaffed, which brought about lots of administrative spending. Top officials from the Ministry of Education announced last week that they will draft a standard plan to calculate the education cost of university students, aimed at stopping colleagues from overcharging students. The plan has been hailed by the public and the press. According to Yuan Guiren, Vice Minister of Education, the proportion students by individual students should be kept within 25%.
Why do we have sandstorms? Severe sandstorms have plagued several areas of China over the past few days. North China, including the capital city of Beijing, has been badly affected. Rapid population growth is the main challenge, as the environmental problems are basically associated with people and their activities. For instance, in Inner Mongolia, horse raising remains a pillar of the local economy. With the explosive demand for mutton, the industry shows no signs of slowing. Despite the order of reducing grazing, the direct result is the gradual exhaustion of grasses that most people crowding the limited land put the already fragile and damaged environment in more danger. Environmental scientist Chen Guangping said, China should encourage wise and scientific use of resources and improve family planning in Western regions.
Everyone, welcome to CCTV 9. I'm Rita.
I'm Amy.
First of all, please look at Yuan's mother began reading. Yuan's mother began reading and White House protesting Iraq war.
Y'all used to make rockets all-time team.
Can bomb his security checkpoint or Baghdad airport.
Banks both walk hills or points.
Please look at news in detail.
Second heavy built in Xinjiang deserts. China is now building the second heavy across the deserts of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in the country's northwest region. Currently, members of the Transportation Division of Chinese People's Armed Police, CAP, are working on the road. They are facing bad weather conditions and other difficulties. So far, the CAP members have completed a 112 kilometers section of the highway, which will have an entire length of 424 and 12 kilometers and cost a total of 834 million yuan, about 140 million US dollars. The outer Hotan highway goes through the Taklamakan deserts to link up the southern and the northern parts of the autonomous region. It's scheduled to be completed by July 2007.
A group of U.S. mothers started Sunday a 24-hour vigil outside the White House to call for an end to the Iraq war and voice their opposition to a military attack on Iraq. I don't want any more moms to grieve for child lost in this unnecessary war in Iraq. Sisami Shahun, a prominent Ottoman mother who lost her 24-year-old son in the war. Other Mother's Day events include a concert, workshops on legislative strategies, writing letters to First Lady Laura
Indiana Saunders.
Center has reflected behind NBA greats such as Moses, Madden, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Roger Stanley. The star-studded list reflects Houston's tradition of fielding outstanding centers. Your teammate Tracy McGrady was voted one of the best forwards, joining the ranks of the greats like Rudy, Tom Bernard-Beach, the five-time All-Star player. Kevin Murphy leads the group of guards, which includes Kenny Smith, and Zen Campbell, members of the 1994 and 1995 teams that won NBA title back-to-back.
Okay, today's news. Thanks for your listening. See you.
Jiahao, and it says no pitting.